Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're on to EBS Television Daybreak Reloaded. EBS Nothing Else is Better. Like we told you before we went on break for the AM news, we are going to be looking at the forthcoming general elections. You know, we have been talking about elections, and few days from now, I'm tempted to say few hours from now, but we still have about 4 days to go. So a few days from now, we'll be heading to the polls to vote leaders of our choice. And we are going to be looking at that and the possible way you and I can contribute our quota to make it a huge success. Because you agree with me that this is going to be an election like no other. Because so much is at stake, so much expectation, so much faith, so much hope is tied to this election, and we must get it right. To get it right, you and I must play our role. That is why we are discussing about this now. So just sit back and make sure you are glued to EBS. So you get informed concerning the 2023 general election that is just few days from now. And we have a gentleman in the house to kickstart the discussion this morning. He is Comrade Abdul Karim Orosanye. He is from Network on Good Governance, a civil society organization. Comrade Orosanye, thank you for coming. Good morning.
I want to thank everyone. Good morning, and also good morning to those out there.
Thank you very much. And of course, I have Kayode to roll out the expected, Like we've all been expecting the 2023 general elections. Yeah. We're talking about it for 2 years, for 1 year, for months, for weeks, and few days from now, we're heading to the polls. Yeah. So looking at all that have been happening, looking at the expectation, look at everything that have been going on, can you sincerely tell us, are we ready for this election? Are we ready to go?
Yeah, I want to say categorically and with the enthusiasm, the Edo people are ready. Nigeria in general are ready for this election because this is what we have been yearning for. And we want to thank God that even after the voters registration, the PVC collection, those ones have ended. And we also want to ensure that those who have collected their PVC, at the end of the day, there will be value added. There's going to be joy at the end of the day. We are ensuring that their vote will count. They will know how to cast their vote. So that is the next stage of it. So in a few days from now, we are already on it, the voters' education. And because we have carried out rallies and we saw that the people, they are ready to vote this time around. Even more people than before, they are ready to vote this time around. So all of us are putting our hands on the desk to ensure a very successful election.
So you're telling us that the enthusiasm has not gone down at all, and the people, they are just waiting for Saturday to come. I, for one, am waiting. I can't wait for that day, and I believe majority of Nigerians are waiting also. But looking at the prevailing situation around us now, some persons are already having these thoughts in them, and they are voicing it that they don't have the ready cash, like those who need to travel outside Benin. Some persons registered in local government, in their own local government of origin, and they really want to vote. So what do you think they can do at this point? Because in terms of finance, because they just have to vote. They need to vote. We need to vote. Everyone needs to vote. Every eligible voter.
See, as a result of the unexpected happenings in certain a few days ago, somehow it is unfortunate. But at the same time, this is the time to make sacrifice. I've already seen some people even going to as far as the northern part of the country to cast their vote. I was asking some, you mean you take it like this? Of course. So I also want some of us who are also not that far away, like our nearby local government, the residents of those areas who want to vote there, to also make, though it is true that the cash is not available now, the cash at their disposal very, very little, but casting our vote
It's paramount.
very, very paramount. Very, very paramount. Let us do, just like you live every day without, you must eat. No matter the unavailability of the cash today, you will still see that we still feed. So let us also ensure it's just an exercise in one day, or let's say just 2 Saturdays, February and March. Let us please make more effort. We know there are pains. We know what is going on now, but for the country to move forward, for we to have that desired change, I want to appeal to everyone. Yeah. There are also some people who are also more powerful than others. They could also come to the assistance of people to be able to convey themselves to the nearest place they are going to vote. Thank you.
Oronsaye, you just heard what he just postulated. We need to make sacrifices. We need to be our brother's keeper. No pain, no gain. This is what we all have been fighting for, and is here before us. So if you have little, I'm just stressing what Oronsaye said a few minutes ago. If you have little to spare, please, it's a collective sacrifice we all must make to get out from this spot where we are in, to see a brighter and glorious Nigeria we want to see after Saturday. Kayode, it's possible.
Why it's possible? Just that my take this morning would have been that, well, election has started because actually this is election week. Today is Monday, and we're looking at a couple of days. Am I right, Abdul Karim? You are an NGO and civil society, right? Spearheader and all of that. Like you said some people have started moving to far north. Now we are looking at our state, Edo State. What do you have to tell, like advice, like your office, your civil society, right? I've been sensitizing people. I mean, you have been working even till now, but this is the week where we actually have work to do, because you will agree that situation on ground, people are very discouraged. The whole city is quiet. Why? There are a lot of challenges that we have to pass through. The cash, even for people, for steadfast regular workers, the cash is not even there to move. You can imagine how you got here this morning. Now, there have been sensibilities or sensitizations in churches and mosques, especially after the services of yesterday and the gathering in the Juma on Friday. The same people that are passing through what they are passing through, all of us are passing through it as a nation. The same people have always been encouraged. My colleague and partner just said, no pains, no gains. There are things that we need to pass through.
No.
So, but now, this is the election week. What are you going to do extraordinary? You know, we have all of these election complications of void votes, voter sensitization. Now we are only encouraging people to go out because the PVC collection is over. We are face to face with the devil now. Yeah. We have to cast our votes. People are moving to the far north because from all indication analysis since we have been on this program, some people have said that people in the north, they have a more voters
they are very conscious.
A more voters consciousness. Yeah. They can go against anything. They can enter trucks, trailer, bicycles to get to their voting point where they registered. Now in Edo State or in the south or southeast or southwest, it might not be the same. The zeal might not be the same. But what do you have to do extraordinarily at this point?
We already have a program in place. Just starting from the registration to PVC collection, now is how do we ensure that the void vote would be reduced to the barest minimum. But before I said that, when I was answering the previous making the
question,
previous comment, we also heard I know it's an authentic news that the governor has also approved the Comrade bus. I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yes,
So
last
that is
week.
also a very
Laudable.
laudable achievement and a movement in the right direction. And I also want to appeal to those, the relevant authority in the Comrade bus, that they should please ensure that they do their work appropriately, so that they can also help to reduce this pain in because they will help to take them to some
One point to
location.
another.
Yeah. Now, let me come back to the extraordinary effort we are going to make.
Yeah.
If you look at it, the void vote in previous votes, especially southern part of the country, you see the height of it. I think we need to reduce it to the barest minimum. One, the voters' education. Every voter should know that if you want to vote, I want to go and vote. I want this country to change. It does not just end there. The way you vote, you must be able to ensure that your vote is not void at the end of the day. If you're able to do that, I think that will be a success at the end of the day. Then with the civil society, we are going out because we have been doing it before. We go out to tell them this is how you are going to complete. This is how you fold it this time around. You know, in previous times, you see the way they fold it. Maybe this is your logo, and I cannot demonstrate because I don't have that something there. You have your logo, you have a space where you are going to thumbprint.
Yeah.
Now, you should ensure that even when you fold it, you want to put it inside the
Box.
the ink can only touch your logo, not the other one.
Okay.
Yes, I think we are going to, during the week, you are going to see us doing that too, moving from one point to another. Like the other day of PVC collection, we were able to visit areas of that are thickly populated. Like we go to Lagos Street, Mission Road, and all that. We're able to carry out some, voters education as regards collecting their PVC. And today, I think the level of PVC that we collect, according to INEC, almost 80% in Edo State. I don't know if I'm right with that with the news. Yeah, yes. Almost 79 points. So I think that's a progress on our part as compared to before. Now, before the election, this task of ensuring that the void vote is reduced, because that's where one of our problem is. If you compare the one you were talking about the not just now, if you compare the vote there, look at the void vote, very, very, very minimal. So we have to also ensure that here, and that will be made possible if our voters' education is very, very strong.
Is it before the election or during the voting process actually?
Now, I think we do.
Because there are situations where
especially before the election, we do that. But
yes,
I think the INEC also give a room for that. For the INEC staff, we first of all enlighten those who want to vote.
Yes, before the voting process properly.
They will tell them this is. But before then, each political party also has that function.
Yeah, to do.
Their members, they should be able to hold meetings and tell their members, if you want to win, this is how we do it. Please ensure the void vote is reduced.
By voting properly, by thumbprinting and folding your clip properly, so that it doesn't stain the area.
So we have also been working with INEC. We have several seminars we have had. INEC are always in attendance. So we are not just working alone, because the relevant authority, which is the INEC, they are there to tell us this is what they want people to do. So we need to follow what the INEC says, so that at the end of the day, we have a successful result.
Talking about avoiding void votes, because like my colleague said, we can't all have this drive, this zeal, this enthusiasm, this fire, to go out and vote on election day. Because like I said before, this is an election we are all highly expectant. Because it's not going to be like any other elections we've seen before, because there's so much expectation, so much change, so much, so many things have gone on there in this country. So this election is one-way ticket. We believe is going to fix things for us. So we mustn't joke with it. And one of the ways we can ensure that this election is properly conducted, especially on part of the voters, is avoiding void votes. Yeah. I believe the churches, mosque, market, and rural areas, the message should be taken to these places, to the grassroots, because it makes no sense of the whole thing when you just thumbprint and at the end of the day, the
Become
ink
void.
and everything spread across every other line, and everything is, or you fold it one funny way. I'm not an INEC official, so I wouldn't know how to really demonstrate it, but I believe that
It's horizontal. I
it's
think
horizontal,
yeah,
and okay, it's like this. You do it like this.
like what you have like this. Okay, it's vertical.
Okay.
So when you have logo here and the space here, so at the end
Yes.
of the day, if you fold it this way,
Okay.
the ink here can only stain your logo, and which is
Okay.
still valid.
Okay.
But by the time you start folding it like this,
Yes,
Okay.
you have a problem.
So
Right.
you're going to have the ballot paper. Let's say it's this,
That's it.
and you have logo here of
Yes.
each political party.
Yes.
You try as much as possible to print.
and the space provided in the front of the logo.
Yes, the space in front of the logo. To print there. Then when you're done, don't do it like this,
No.
but like this,
That's it.
so that even if the ink gets to soak to the other
To
part
be
of the
at
paper,
the other,
it will
the-
still
the
be
same logo,
within
yeah.
The party.
the party's space. So please,
Then in addition, sorry,
Yes.
because during the what's it called, the mock election, there were some certain things that were discovered by the voters when they came to the unit. Some of them found out that their name is no longer in that unit, and we don't want people to be taken unaware on that day. So it is even good we said that here so that people will be aware what they are going to face on that day. And we have discussed with INEC, and INEC has done a proper arrangement. So they have also informed the public that because of the creation of extra polling units or polling points, they may be, maybe where you vote before, your name may not be in that polling unit any longer, but not outside the ward, but the same ward. If you are in unit 5 before, your name may be taken to the other unit, and you, when you get there that day, all you just have to do, don't panic. You cannot discover your name in that, but it's as a result of the number expected of each polling unit. Maybe 600, 700. If it's above that, they may decide to remove some name and take it to the other unit.
okay,
So people are going to yes,
much
yeah.
Number of persons.
That is it. You know, if the public is not aware of that today, on that day, if they just meet it at their first time, it may cause panic.
Yes,
But let the public be aware that they may come across something like this on that very day. There's also going to be provision of beavers, what they call beavers. So that is going to detect your fingerprint, and also, if the fingerprint cannot work, also a facial. Now, each voter is expected to come with voting PVC. Very, very required for election. You must come with your PVC, valid one, so that at the end of the day, we are not only talking about void votes. This is also very, very necessary for voters to be aware of. So,
Now, what Orange Saye just explained is that if you get to your polling unit on that day of the election on Saturday, and you don't get to see your name there, please don't panic. Don't raise alarm and cause fear and unnecessary chaos. Just go to the next other polling units to be created to accommodate the extra numbers, because of the people's response to voters registration.
that people are ready to vote. That's
Yes,
what
people,
yeah.
more people came out, more people have registered, more people have collected their PVC. So INEC, in their wisdom, has graciously decided to split the polling unit, because not every polling unit can take everybody at the same time. So if you don't get to see your name on that register, please just go to the next polling unit and you find your name there. Whatever happens, make sure you meet the INEC officials who will sort you out. Don't panic. You see, this vital information will save a lot of stress and a lot of misgivings. But in the rural areas, do they have this information? How can it get to them? Because you have good governance.
Yeah.
You are assisting INEC, you are assisting Nigerians because you want good governors to come to play at the end of the day. So how do you get this to rural areas? Because it's important.
Yeah, that was a very good question. I want to say that Network on Good Governance, which I'm representing here, are present in all the local governments. But apart from the various the secretariat, in rural areas, we have visited rural areas, and we tend doing that more and more, because we know that is where people are more hit. So we don't just sit down here in the town and start talking. We also go in that. We also have people, as I'm talking here, there are comrades over there that are resident over there. So the message we are passing, we're also passing in there.
So I don't think it will be out of place. It's an appeal anyway.
Of course.
It won't be out of place because, like I said before, this is a sacrifice we all must partake in, because this is our collective country. It belongs to us, and we must see it change. We must see it, you know, on the right track. And come Saturday, we believe it's going to it's going to be just that. We're praying for that. Now, is it possible for us to go out every day? Network of Good Governance, every day, go to markets, go to schools, go to churches every day before Saturday to sensitize people on these select areas. Is it possible? Can we do that?
I will not come here and say what we may not be able, what we will not be able to do, but I think we are making our effort as a result of the, let's say, budget constraints. Or are you getting what I'm saying now?
Yes.
Yeah, you actually said it that these days the when you talk about the trend as regards naira note redesign, we know what we are going through these days.
Yes.
And also when you talk about the issue of funding and all that, we also have a, but I think we have if you go to National Orientation Agency, they will tell you about us. We are and now we also appealing to the federal government to also strengthen that body, because they also have presence in all local government, the National Orientation Agency. I think that's one of their work.
Yes,
and also Ministry of Information in those states also. We should all put our hands together, because one tree cannot make a forest.
Yes.
So Network on Good Governance are doing their possible best to ensure that this election we will surpass the success, we surpass every other election because of the zeal we see in people. We are making our effort. The executive director of Network of Good Governance is doing very well, going from places to. Are you getting me now? So we are doing our best to make sure that we had a successful election at the end of the day. Thank you, ma.
Thank you very much. You see, we are part of this. So in your own little way, the information you've just gotten from Oronsai, tell everybody, tell your family members, tell your church members, tell your fellow Muslim, tell your fellow students, tell your fellow traders, tell your fellow business persons, tell your colleagues, tell it everywhere you go. That on that day when you get to your polling unit, you don't see your name, don't panic. Just go to the next polling unit. You'll see your name and you will vote. Please tell everyone. It is outcry we must shout at the top of our voice, because this election must be successful, because the change we need, we'll see it. No. Mr. Oronsai.
Yeah, it's okay. I was going to come in briefly.
Oh, go ahead.
Now, you work pari passu Peter Wandishi.
Yeah.
You mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
That Peter Wandishi is the CEO of.
Executive Director of.
He's the Executive Director of National
Network on Good Governance.
Yes, he's the Executive Director of Network of Good Governance. You work together. You work in synergy. What actually is he doing now that is different from your own?
If you look at it, it's a network.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it's a combination coming together of different civil society organizations.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we call it Network of Good Governance.
Of Good Governance.
We have a similar area we work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this election of a team. We work where we come together to make sure that we have a successful election at the end of the day.
That's the common objective.
Yes, of course.
Now, but let's come a little bit closer to what can so many of our viewers and voters can still need to be educated about.
Yeah.
You know, most of the voters know what their voters card is. You know, we have been talking about voters card, your PVC and all of that. But now the beavers came in as a check. You know, there are certain people who believe that once their fingerprint is picked by the beavers, that they have the right to vote. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah.
It's about picking and accrediting you. And so now, what is the meaning of beavers, and what's the difference between beavers and voters card?
Voters card.
You know, because a lot of people in the rural areas, even in the cities, you know, people have been hearing about beavers. There are a lot of things that people might not completely understand.
That's it.
The complication.
But when you talk about the beavers, the voter need to be captured. You get me now? So like this beavers,
every voter need to be captured before
you are
you
allowed
produce
to
your PVC.
Of course.
Okay, that's the
PVC
first
is also
process.
very, very important.
Yes.
But first of all, you need to be captured your fingerprint.
That's what
or your facial.
That's what the beavers do. That's what the beavers does.
Course.
Okay.
And you may have more than one beavers in a polling unit, just to make sure that the situation is brought under control.
It's properly handled.
That something is faster to ensure that it does not delay.
Yeah.
So there's possibility of bringing a second beaver.
A polling unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they make provision for that also. but you must be captured. There are sometimes it may not be able to capture your fingerprint. There's also a facial one.
Your iris,
capture,
yeah.
of course. So that will ensure that there is no challenges is reduced.
So there is the beavers that comes first.
Of course.
Once the beavers captures you, and you can go ahead to be accredited.
Of course.
Now with your PVC, because your PVC is your final voting right. But now, what of when you are captured by the beavers, either by aerial capturing, capturing of your iris, or because there are sometimes the thumb printing can be difficult.
Yeah, of course.
Now some people can be captured by beavers, and they eventually get to being accredited with their PVCs, and they still have issues. Does the capturing, because some people, most electorates can be troublesome. After passing through all these hassles, you squeeze. Even though we know that a pulling from the distance of your home to the polling unit might not be too far, but the struggle of Nigerians right now, the Naira swap and all of that, then you manage because of this encouragement to be there. Then, of course, there are bound to be challenges, the issues on ground. Now, in situation where the beavers have captured your prints or your facial or your iris or your whatever eyes, then you get to the point of voting, your PVC cannot be clearly captured, because there have been issues of PVCs not being captured, because some people have challenges with their PVCs, that they drop the PVC there, they are still trying to find out whether some PVCs can be defect, some PVCs are already defaced.
Okay.
Because of this squeeze of movement of fuel, gas, economic swap, Naira swap, POS. It will be surprised, because like I said before, many people carry their
But sir, sorry.
Yes.
I think in the last election we were doing something like that. The PVC, as a result of time, something is wearing away.
It's wearing out.
But that will not affect it, because we have experienced some institution like that.
Yes.
All what they just did is to place. Then they were using what you call card reader.
Yes, card reader. Yes.
They put it on top, and everything.
Information will show.
But I want to also tell you that if that PVC is genuine, during the capturing with beavers, your information will also
on the data.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't have
I'm
any.
not sure there will be any challenge like that.
Yeah. Once the beavers have
because even during the mock election, we didn't notice any of such. Immediately you are captured by the beavers, that means, and you have your voters card, the
information.
Yeah.
So even if your card is defaced, just come. Information will still be available.
People got their cards long time ago, and they failed to go and deface PVC. We are told to be registered. What do you say?
To re-register.
To replace.
Okay, replace.
Yes, there was information provided even on net and all that.
Yes,
okay.
But
some of these people, maybe
because of time,
they were not able to do that. You can still use that because we experienced it in the last election also. Yeah.
Okay. So, looking at the election proper, thank God you are a youth, Mr. Osayi. And a lot has been happening in our political scene in Nigeria. A lot has been happening. People have been so delusioned, disappointed, they're in pain, in agony, hungry. And the election is finally here. Another day, I believe that I just hope that everybody will be able to eat before coming. Like I used to say on this program, that a man who is hungry is angry. And a man who is angry cannot be controlled in certain situations. Now, we have youths. I believe this election lies on the shoulder, largely on the shoulders of the youth, because they've been at the forefront and they are ready to go out. On that day, what should the youth avoid? So they don't truncate what they have been laboring for months, so that the election will be so peaceful. Cast your vote. The vote will count, and at the end, the country will still be at peace. The state will be at peace. You are a youth. Can you talk to your fellow youth what they should avoid, so they don't truncate what they have been laboring for for months.
So, but first of all, I also want to praise the effort of the youth because
Yeah.
the recent development that after that first protest, that riot, let me call it riot in Benin, that some people even lost their life.
Yeah.
Between that day and now, you can see that the state is peaceful,
Yeah.
and that's as a result of our youth do not want this election to be truncated.
No.
They have come to realize that, so there's no need. You have not been seeing this protest again because they want this election to come and be able to change history. So I want to praise them for no longer taking the laws into their hand all this while. So we are all looking towards the election come this Saturday, and I still want to tell our youth that this election, this election may be the place, what do you call it, the land, the promised land that we have been yearning for. So every youth has a role to play. Every youth has a role to play. No blood of any youth should be shed that day. Everybody should make sure that their attitude is towards ensuring a credible and a non-violent election. Yes, the youth should start talking to themselves now. We are not just leaders of tomorrow, we are leaders of today. Not
Yeah.
just when we say tomorrow may never come. So let us start to learn that. Let that thing start to sink deep into our brain.
Yes.
Not just taking up arms, involved in thuggery and all that. That may not help at all. So the youth should please start educating themselves, advising themselves towards that Saturday. So I think that is what I want to say.
Now,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's all right. All of us are involved
No.
because it's our nation. We don't have any other country. Relatively, all of us are youths because none is up to 75 years, and it's a function of age. And we just believe that God will move. Are you hearing me, sir? Now, in your own conviction, you have been a people's person through your NGO and sensitization. You are on the field collecting information and trying to put things in order with NOA, this National Orientation, all of the organizations involved in stabilizing the body politics, convincing the electorate. Are you convinced in your mind? Because up to this morning, we're still hearing the reportage from Mahmoud Yakubu, the INEC person, that they are ready. They are ready. And they are ready. Because by last week, we're saying that INEC might face logistic problems. You know, talk is cheap.
Of course.
Because now they're saying that with this Naira swap and all of that, the logistic, the cash, the movement, the money to pay these ad hoc staffs and all of the people that will be networked and hired during the election might not be readily available before the election. And this is the election week. There's cash squeeze, and it's going to hit all and sundry. The logistics and the movement. People are going to travel as far as Ogulaha, Amasoma, in the Creek regions. It's a national thing, and you know how much we are in population and number of states. So there are still issues that we need to quickly believe that INEC have resolved. Because now, are you convinced that the feedback you are getting from the people is not just about Edo State? Because if the election becomes inconclusive in some areas by dispatch of material and security parameters, it might affect the general effort of youth across board. Are you really convinced in your sensitization and the feedback you get from youth?
Okay,
That INEC is...
I want to say that from time to time, even this morning, we got a news from the INEC National
Yes.
telling us that they are ready for the election. But I want to say that the budget that was made for the election before
Yes.
may have been diverted. I don't want to use that word diverted. That is underrated. They need to adjust it because of the recent financial crisis.
Hike in fuel prices and
that
all
will
of that.
increase the budget sum. But it's also the responsibility of the government to ensure free, fair election, less stressful election. So they could come in that area. Within these days, they should be able to make adjustments between now and Saturday because this logistic need to be taken care of.
Between now and Thursday, because after this election.
But from the feeling we are getting from the umpire, which is INEC, the body language, meaning things are improving. They are going to adjust to the crisis that we all find ourselves in. From if something like that is not going to happen, there are ways that we are also going to know that these people are not ready. But look at what is going on from time to time. And there should be communication between the INEC, the CBN, the federal government. Let them make sure that before this election, everything, all loopholes, every loophole is covered. I think they should be able to do that. From what we are hearing every day, we have no doubt that things are being put in place. Yeah, a lot of adjustments have been carried
On the
out.
side of federal government responding to INEC demands or their extra
Yes.
budgetary.
If of course they need to do that, because the initial budget may not be what if they should
No,
depend
but
on the
yes,
initial
from all
budget.
indications.
They may not be able to achieve that because you have a availability of funds. What is the level, the fund provided before? Would they be able to meet up at the end of the day? So all these things need to be adjusted. And also, even when you talk about hiking price, then maybe that is not the original price they used. Now they need to adjust. Look at the fuel issue also, and all that. So we're also appealing to the federal government and those authorities involved.
Agencies, yeah.
Yes, they need to do something so that at the end of the day, they will not betray the confidence that the people have in them. But I want to say that because there are ways we also dictate that this thing may happen, but I don't think it's going to be to that level, because the way
No,
we look
but
at it
no.
now-
That, you see, for things to happen, like we always see it, as part of our responsibility as media people, is to sensitize the people. Most of what happens, like this pocket of riot and reactions, is because when this thing started showing signs, government was very slow to responding. Thank God that you said initially that in Edo State, after that first clash, you called it riot, where some people were supposed to have lost their lives. There's a relative calm because government took some proactive steps to step up some areas, making vehicles available, stepping up security, and using town hall campaigns and all.
And also providing the needed information.
The needed information
This
for-
thing came as a result of
Misinfo-
not being properly informed.
Now,
Yeah.
between yesterday and today, yesterday was Sunday. A lot of people in their churches on Friday, in their Juma, they were
Juma.
being educated. But up to yesterday, there are still families that are not able to eat.
Of course.
Very clear, because of the cash squeeze. You meet people every day. You sensitize people.
Of course.
When you meet these people, start telling them about their privacy and the need to vote and make this election sacrosanct, we have to sacrifice, no pain, no gain. Is it inside hunger? Because now, the body language between yesterday and this morning, you came here to
I understand what you said. What you're
between
saying.
yesterday and this morning, you came to the studio. We were invited, of course, for a program. Do you see from the tracks, maybe you drove here or you took public
I
transport?
took public transport.
Okay, now, what is the response starts at daybreak? So today is Monday, we just have 4 days or 3 days. By Thursday, everybody moving on Friday. Friday should be a holiday. Everybody moving would have started moving. Do you think that between yesterday and today, anything has improved in terms of transportation and hunger level and complaints? Because I tried to collect money from the ATM this morning when I was just coming. I have to drop in to see whether they have done some magic of putting money there. Talking about the one in Ecobank. For the more than 1, 2, 3, 4 people I met, they were asking me, Oga, he give you money. So,
Do you believe in magic?
so
When I went to ATM,
He
I was
didn't
not
give me
able
any
to carry
money.
out transfer.
he didn't give me any money.
Yeah, but I understand what you are saying.
Yes, sir.
Because on daily basis, because people know me in my area, and they are here from time to time. What I hear is, this election, there's no need. Look at the way they take the suffer us. No money, no this. But I still believe that those people need to be conscientized. They need to be told something that this election is a priority to hold fast to. Though that's why I'm also saying that there are some people that can still come in, like you mentioned the churches, religious centers. This is the time for people to give assistance to others.
To be a brother's
The
keepers.
level of understanding differs. You get it now. But I want to say that majority of the people, they are, well, let me not say that. Because in the rural areas and all that, I think they say the rural areas put together is even more populated than the cities.
No, we have more voters.
Yeah. So I may not say that more people are more informed when it comes to this. They complain around. If you go around, they complain growing from day to day. But I think we should try to be into telling people about the new trend, how to adjust to it.
And be more positive in our
Yes.
discussions.
Even our spending also, this day we need to adjust. your budget, you can decide to sacrifice on certain so in order to achieve something. But because this complaint going on, it may go a long way to affect the election. I believe that because the total number of voters that wanted to vote before, as a result of what just happened, may reduce their zeal. But it also still depends on us and the government agencies to carry out more enlightenment
improvement.
Yes.
If by tomorrow,
there was what they call subsidy. This subsidy is called during the coronavirus. There's something.
subsidy.
Is this subsidy or
Palliative.
Yeah.
No, look at it for
there's-
instance. Making the system work, it doesn't take more. God created the world in 6 days.
That was it.
Now, I told you this morning, every morning is my responsibility to check with my ATM cards
That was it.
whether I can actually get money, because that's what we grew with. That's what we know, that ATM machines are supposed to bring cash
Bring cash.
instead of all of this. And if there is improvement, really, I was thinking in my mind when I woke up from, I had some little cash with me. I said, okay, let me try this machine. I met some people there as early as 6 or
This
so.
morning, yeah.
I put this in, and I'll try to first of all, let me take 5,000 because they say they can't give you 20 or whatever. I said, let me even start with 5 because I saw 5,000 there. I even saw 1,000. Before I pressed the 5,000, they say this machine is not automated. You know, they said, you know, those things are right there.
That means
It can't pay.
Yeah.
So I did so many other things that worked. But to get the cash which I wanted, it didn't pay. Today is Monday. And I met 1, 2, 3 women. So one woman with 2 children said, Oga, because I was staying like a little bit long. So the woman said, he ran to me and said, Oga, he give you money. I said, no, he not give me money.
Of course.
So tomorrow I will still try. So on the side of government, let them make certain things work. Are you hearing me, sir? Because now we cannot be encouraging people. My colleague here say hungry man is an angry man. When people are desesperated, you wake up for. There are so many people that cannot eat right now. They are genuinely convinced. They are genuinely convinced. So many pastors have to be giving money yesterday. Somebody had fufu, couldn't have money to buy soup.
This is the time to distribute that palliative.
So
If
the
there's
palliative
something
we
like
are talking should be more from government functionality. This Emefiele, CBN, cash squeeze, no more old notes, and all of that. Let there be an improvement. Even if you say there are no more old notes, let the notes that are valuable be dispensable. But today is Monday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to try it out again because that's what we know. Before the POS wake up, normally those days when we used to travel long distances, we go to the POS machines and we drop more money and travel by FX or so. But that's what we know that works. Now, if those people are not stuffing their counters or their machines, we cannot be campaigning and sensitizing people on the basis of wrong that government is supposed to correct. Because the money that INEC and all of these, their extra budgetary affairs and logistics, is going to still come out from the source. You cannot fuel a principal agent that carries out the responsibility of election and the populace that is more important because the citizenry, INEC is not bigger than the citizenry. So all of our focus from the part of sensitization and government should not be just on INEC because INEC itself with their machines and their logistics and their speedboats they are going to use, they are going to buy water tanks and safety these things to the riverines. They will be funded. But when they get to Amasoma and they don't see anybody in the polling booth because of hunger, because people need money to eat. You didn't eat for 2 days and you say INEC are there. Will they vote for themselves?
No.
And so now that's why I feel that our campaign also too and sensitization should be shifted to the government a little bit.
Yeah. In that area, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria told us that one of the function of the government, the welfare of the people.
Yeah.
So this is the time the government should wake up to their responsibility. And the people will gladly appreciate it. And like I just said, if there's anything the government can do at this point in time, let it come up. Like we're hearing the POS operators by the state government, disposing a fund to people. They should make it affordable to them. Because why people were now being scared was the normal POS, the charges they were giving to people was too high. Yeah. So if the government can come to the rescue by bringing out that kind of laudable project, let them increase more on it so that people can have access to cash. Because this Saturday event is a very serious project. It's a project we must not fail. So the government, the NGOs, the religious bodies, faith-based and others, everyone must come together this time around to salvage the situation, to ensure that Saturday will be a huge success. So I'm appealing to everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much. You're appealing to everybody. So, like I always say, is our collective responsibility. it's a collective sacrifice we must make, because if at the end of the day we go through this pain, we go through this so much disenchantment, so much hunger, so much confusion, so much, I don't know, so much agony, and it becomes exercise in futility, God forbid, it will not happen. So we all must contribute. If you have whatever you have, if you can help your next door neighbor to make sure that he or she goes out to vote on that day, even if it's a plate of food, please do it. If you can cook and put inside a cooler, and people come to the election venue hungry, please, if you can give her that cooler of food to 2 people to share, you can do it. This is a battle we all must fight in unity and win. And if we do it in unity, we will all win and will come out tops. I believe that. So please, let's do all we can to help each other. Mr. Ronsaye, Lord of things have been happening in our society. We all know what has been going on. And some persons have come up with a theory as to why it is happening. Some are still saying it's not true. Largely, people have actually come to believe that it's for certain reasons. And those who came up with it don't even care how it hurts others. They don't care as long as they get what they want at the end of the day. But I believe with our own determination, we are going to overcome. It's just a few days from now, we'll overcome. By God's grace, we will overcome. Now, given the scenario that has been playing out in Nigeria for the past weeks now, do you foresee monetary inducement playing a major role on Saturday in people's decision to vote? Somebody comes to the voting center hungry, no money, you even trek there, and here is somebody coming with 10,000 to induce you.
Yeah.
Can we resist this on the day of election?
Let us be very, very sincere when we talk. You just said a hungry man is an angry man, and it may not be able to resist some level of temptation. Like what we are just saying now, we are appealing to every relevant agency to come together, because when we are saying we are fighting, the project that is being implemented now is to avoid vote buying at the expense of the weak ones. I want to say, if you go to an hospital today, if you are short of blood, you can't donate blood. It's not those who have blood that donate blood.
Yes.
Then how do you expect the less privileged who are out there to donate blood to the project you are? Are you getting what I'm trying to say now? So how do you also expect that you can achieve that your project at the end of the day, whereby you have even put more pressure on the most populated set of people, which are the less empowered? So I think I will not shy away from that question. That something can also encourage what you are trying to avoid. On that day, it may be an opportunity for those who are hungry for power to induce the people. Except this problem of hunger now can be what? Can be rescued, can be tackled. The government and every other agency should come so that this project that was put in place, that they want to use it to remove vote buying, will be a success. For us, those who have money to spend that day will buy the minds of those who are hungry. It is a very clear, those who are short of blood do not donate blood. It should be those who have blood that the doctor say come and donate. So you don't expect these people who are hungry, who have no access to cash, to just stay and resist that temptation. But maybe as a result of your practice of faith, very few will be able to resist that. But we know that the majority may not be able to do that. And at the end of the day, the project may be defeated.
Even if they can't be able to do that, Mr. Ronsaye, we have a project before us which we believe will turn us around and turn this nation around and turn this nation around and give us a better Nigeria. Can we not appeal to ourselves that no matter how strong the temptation is, can we not overcome it to see a better Nigeria?
Are you talking about the generality of the
Yes, can we not appeal to ourselves, the generality of voters?
Know the mind of the person.
That is why I'm going on this part of appeal.
Yeah.
I think we should talk to ourselves. There's an economic guy, they
said human want are what? Is Santiago.
Yes.
You see, you may not be able to know the next person's mind. You get me now? Even when we are okay, you see some people still going the other way. Not to talk about a glaring situation of hunger. the land now. I think the government should wake up to their responsibility. This is the time the people need them at most. Transportation wise, cash wise, food wise, and all that. Let them bring everything out, deploy everything.
I've
that,
seen people,
because
sir.
I don't want to say because of the sacrifice. I will be able to do that.
Sir,
like
I've
Danny Fahmy used to say in those days, I can afford this, but can the other person? Don't just assume that you can afford.
Yes, I've seen
Let us
during
put,
during
some
elections,
machinery in
even,
place.
even primaries,
Yeah.
people cook and put in takeaway packs. You know, this well-to-do
But-
some
but- but
persons.
that-
Can they
that-
do it?
that
Can
should
they
be
do
before
it
the election,
now?
because if you do it on the election, there may be a method of inducing voter. Don't you agree with that?
No. You
Okay.
you don't need
Not in
to
the polling
bring it.
area. Okay.
You don't need
At
to
home,
bring it.
yeah.
Can keep it to. You can, before people go out to vote. Because to tell you the truth, sir, yesterday I sat with a woman in
Of course,
church,
I've also experienced.
and
it
she
in recent
told
times.
me that somebody gave her some packs of fufu, but after some days, the pack got bad. She had to throw them away because no soup to eat the fufu. And I'm talking about as at yesterday. 4 days from now, what will happen? Some persons will say, even if I'm hungry, I will go. And they will trek the short distance to come.
That is it.
Please, I think, is there anything you and I, us, every other person can do to help ourselves? I'm not saying the government shouldn't do what they ought to do,
Yeah.
but I think we should go the extra mile to begin to help ourselves, because this affects us all. If we must see the Nigeria we desire to see, the new Nigeria, what can we do to begin to help ourselves?
What we can do is what we have been saying since. Every one of us will know what is positive, what we can do to improve situation. We all know. It's just that nobody will tell me that he doesn't know the right thing to do. It's just that sometimes we want to shy away. This is the time for us to redouble our efforts. Everyone should come together. If you read the Bible also tells us about the weak and the strong.
Yes.
So you expect the weak to be. God cannot just say something that does not exist. There are weak out there. The book of Acts of Apostles chapter 20 verse 35 say that we should work hard so that we'll be able to what? Assist the weak. He said it is more blessed to give than to receive. That's the portion of the Bible that talk about that. Our working hard should be in order to be able to assist those who are weak. This period, you have so many. You see people with tears. People might have, people do come. And I tell them, I don't think people also have enough. You get it now? But we should try to share the little.
Yes, that is it.
Both food and otherwise, we should be able to share something. I just pray that God should also provide more opportunity for us. Because what you have in your heart may not be what the other person is also thinking. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's why the government has to come in. Because
Yes.
it is their responsibility.
Responsibility.
The Constitution tells us that the welfare of the people is the primary responsibility of the government. They cannot shy away from it. On our part, is not a right, privilege. Are you getting me now? I know people also abuse privilege, but on the government part, it is their primary responsibility. We will do our best, the
Yeah.
NGOs and all that. We are also trying to do something different to help
Yes.
the situation to.
I
improve, yeah.
think time has come for community kind of life.
Of course.
You
communal
can come
life, yeah.
together, bring what you have. Let's cook it. At least can get firewood, can get a little bit of kerosene or oil, whatever may be. Light up the fire, put the pot there, cook what you have. Let people come and eat. Then go to the polling units and cast their vote, because they are going to. You need to stay on the line, and you can't do
And
that
not
on
just for 1
empty
minute,
stomach, not
for
1
2
minute.
minutes, for
So
some
please,
hours, you'll be standing.
let us begin to encourage community way of life within these few days, so that we can achieve our aim of a better Nigeria come Saturday, 25th of this
And
month.
I still want to tell you one thing. It's not in finance. You have what you call the deficit sectors and the surplus sectors. I want to tell you that there are still some people who still have enough. Even more than enough. I'm telling you.
Yes, it's true.
Yes, but these people, it's high time. They should be touched.
Yes.
Now look at those things you have. They even don't prefer that it's perish, God perish, than giving it to people. That people still have the old Naira note in stock, in abundance. Why don't you just think twice these days than use it for something else? No, this is the time your assistance is needed.
If you have bag of rice at home, you may not have enough salt. Another person can have Maggi. Another person can have oil. Put crayfish. Just cook it. Put the Maggi. Put the salt.
You cannot swallow.
People will eat it. We will eat it. What I'm fighting against, sir, what I really don't want to see on that day is for people to stay at home hungry and not being able to go out to vote. So please, whatever you have, come together, cook it. Even if it's 10 spoons, 5, let somebody eat and be strong enough to go out and vote.
God is very wonderful. After that Saturday, something else may happen in this country. Positive one.
It's going to happen by God's grace. I believe it.
Yeah, but just before it happens, because that's why we are here. We are all apostles of faith. We believe that the country will be better. That's why we are still sitting here. But just a way of adding to what we are passing through now. Like I said, today is Monday. By Friday, Thursday, Friday, everything would have been in place for all the voters and the whatever. We are appealing to these banks where the POS can be getting their cash. They don't fabricate cash. The point of sales, they take this cash from the bank. Like I know that most POS operators must have contacted their commercial banks outlets to get cash to be able to sell. Now, what is demystifying or mystifying the commercial banks from stocking the government-approved ATM machines? That's the issue that the government and Emefiele and his commercial banks should work on fastly, because if these cash are dispensable, you're talking about hunger. Some people actually have their stipends. Some people have their, what do you call, their allowances. And it could be 50, 100,000, it could be even 20. But the POS is a plan B of cash outlet. The commercial banks that are saddled with the responsibility of dispensing their ATM, make sure you wake up. That's the point. You cannot be begging people to vote and so many things are not working. Because if you still go to the POS today, by 7 or 8, some of them have started operating, they will still get cash to get. And none of them manufactures money or cuts money or prints money. They get it from the commercial bank. Today is Monday. A lot of lodgement will be made, and a lot of money. Some of these bank clerics or some of these bank agents, they send money to their POS agents. So why not the bank managers and whosoever is involved, make sure that this overnight, let these ATMs, even if it's 2,000 they are dispensing, that's our first point of contact, not POS. The POS are not just there. They are taking advantage because there's a breach. There must be something very wrong.
Yeah, you see, Kayode, in an environment where things ought to work, what you've just said is the ideal thing to do. But unfortunately, this is not what we're seeing. I deliberately skipped that aspect. You know why?
Need to skip it.
Because you know why? Let me tell you. Because it's like flogging a dead horse in Nigeria.
No, it's not dead.
People keep talking, people keep begging, people keep pleading, people keep crying, and nothing is being done. It's as if when you finish talking, you go to you enter your house. Now, even before the protest that took place and led to the destruction of some banks, that led to banks not working as at this morning, as at today. What happened? Even when you go to the banks, do you get your money?
No.
Do you get it? Even when you go to the banking, or do you get your money? Of course you don't get it. Of course, that's what provoked it. Yeah. And thank God normalcy have returned. We have relative peace and security. Yeah. We pray that the banks open soon. And even if they open, are we still going to get our money? No. I pray we get it. But the truth is that, thank God for the step that the governor has taken. POS have come into play, empowering them to be able to dispense cash. I think it should be more broad, more POS should go to designated places, more places, more markets, more like if you have, like we had church services yesterday, 1 or 2 could go there, dispense money to members. We have influx of people in churches, in mosque and all that. There's some designated places so that this money could spread around easily for people to have money. Because we keep talking, nothing is happening.
There's also an area we need to also talk about briefly before we leave this. Because if you talk about this POS, banking service and all that, do you know that in the rural area, they may not have access to all these things?
They don't have,
not that cash.
They don't have.
And that cash now is not even available. You sell your goods, your farm produce, and you are not able to get the cash. Maybe what they have there is old Naira note. That's something will
I hear what they do most times in rural areas now is to exchange what you have with what you don't have. Maybe your soap, you go and give it to somebody who can give you food. You exchange a bar of soap, they give you.
If you help in
God.
that situation,
Somebody also said that in most of those rural markets now, when you come and buy from the city, you come and buy gari or fish. So when you buy, you give them what you have, and they will say, okay, next market when you are coming,
okay,
you bring their balance for them.
God will help us. God will help us. I believe that come after Saturday, things will change. But before then, we need to be alive. We need to cast our vote on Saturday, and everything that needs to be done. Everybody involved, government, with the citizens, stakeholders, let everybody come together and provide a solution that will keep us alive, help us to vote, and our vote will count, and Nigeria will be better at the end of the day. We have been talking with Comrade Abdul Karim Oronsaye, Network on Good Governance, a civil society organization. Thank you, Karim Oronsaye, for coming. We appreciate you.
I want to thank everybody, and I want everybody to really take this project serious, this Saturday project. Everyone, let us come together. Let's see the way we can assist ourselves to make it a successful project. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, I believe God is going to make a way for us. Play your part. I play my part. Kayode plays his part. Oronsaye plays his part. You play your part. We'll get there. Please get your PVC. Make sure from now till Saturday you know where your PVC is. Get it ready. Go to your polling unit. Go and vote. Cast your vote and pray for Nigeria. We'll get there. Kayode, your last word, please.
Well, it's okay. It's quite hopeful. All hope is not lost. To them that are joined to the living God, there is hope. So let's look optimistically that before Saturday, the condition and the times will improve. That's the agenda of God. Remain blessed and stay connected and be hopeful. Have a wonderful day.
Don't be despair. Don't lose hope. We'll get there.
Thank you.
Pray for Nigeria. Pray for yourself. Do the right thing. We'll all emerge victorious in Jesus' name. God bless Nigeria. God bless you. Have a blessed day.